special edition of Escape to the Country, where we'll be showcasing the very best of what one county has to offer by following not one but two sets of couples who wish to up sticks and move there.
We've got 6 properties lined up for our 2 sets of buyers, and for you at home we've also got some hints and tips about planning your own escape.
Now, this particular county is home to the newest national park in the country. If you'd like to find out where, join us in a couple of moments.
On today's show, I'm helping 2 urbanites flee the congested streets of London for the quiet calm of a coastal county. The countryside has a liberating effect on our buyers.
Be permanently on holiday, wouldn't it?
That's the idea, you see.
And I'll be helping a couple who want to quit the commuter belt to begin a new life in a county they've come to love. And they're surprised by the amount of space on offer.
So it doesn't stop just there.
No.
It's right over there.
Yeah. Today we are heading south to the sunny climes of West Sussex, which, since 2010, is home to the South Downs National Park.
Plus, on top of that, you've got some wonderful beaches along the south coast. Let's take a look at what else this fantastic county has to offer.
West Sussex is bordered by Surrey to the north, Hampshire to the west, and East Sussex.
It's 40 miles of coastline with sheltered beaches and expansive views over the English Channel give way to miles of lush chalk downs and ancient woodland.
The gentle rolling hills of the Sussex Downs is a tract of outstanding natural beauty, where a grassy blanket covers chalk and flint, nature's building materials used in much of the local architecture. So whether you're looking for tranquil, sleepy countryside or the quiet seclusion of the coast, West Sussex is a county that has it all.
So, Alistair, I know you live in East Sussex, but you must pop over the borders to the west a lot, don't you?
I have ventured over, yes. I've got my passport out. It's a beautiful county, but it is expensive. Hands up, I have to say, it's one of the pricier counties in the country. I think the average figure for a detached house is £376,000, which is £100,000 over the national figure.
I'm putting on my property hat. When you look at other areas of the county, it can get even more expensive. I mean, this proximity to London really comes into play when you look at places like Horsham. Some, 35% premium you'll pay just to live there.
Yeah, well, you can hop up on the train. But it also has this double polarities. You've got London, but you've also got the south coast and Brighton, although it's not in West Sussex.
Yeah.
It does drive up the prices there. I would give a tip. If you're thinking of being by the seaside, which of course is a big draw, Shoreham by Sea.
Why?
It's a little bit further along the coast from Brighton, but it still has that sort of magnetism in terms of prices. But you've got to get in quick because the prices are going up.
So, in order to move things on, let's talk about your buyers. Where are they coming from?
My buyers are coming from London. They're escaping Harrow for a little slice of West Sussex.
But before we do that, let's find out what's drawing my buyers to this particular part of the country. 20 years ago, Peter and Jill bought this 4-bedroom Edwardian semi in the London commuter town of Weybridge. With their busy consultancy careers, it was perfectly located for transport links to London and abroad. But having semi-retired, they're cutting those city ties and looking for a new home in the country.
The time is right. We're both coming up to that sort of formal retirement age, as it were, and we'd like to do it in another location. I think it's quite good to change occasionally.
Although they're fairly open-minded about the kind of property they're looking for, they do still have a few essentials.
Peter actually has an allotment which can be accessed directly from our own property, which is brilliant because it's like having your own vegetable garden outside your garden. So I think we'd probably want to have at least that when we move.
And also a view. I think a view is important.
As well as a veggie plot with a view, there's an indoor space that's also a must for Peter.
Study in a new house is very important. Currently trying to get a Master of Arts degree in modern history, and I need the space and quiet to study and think. I really couldn't envisage a house without that kind of quiet space.
So what have they got to spend on a country home in West Sussex?
Our budget for this move is £850,000.
Peter and Jill particularly like the southwest of the county, and as they have friends in Chichester who they'd like to be close to, we're focusing our search within half an hour's drive of the city. I'm meeting up with them to find out more about their move. Good morning, both of you.
Hello.
Good morning, Johnny.
Rather damp start to the day, but I'm hoping it's going to brighten up. Now, it's quite a big move, so why now? I mean, it's retirement-based?
Yes, we're both semi-retired, and we thought we'd better move before we get too old. And it's a change of location more than a change of lifestyle.
Why this location?
Because it's lovely, it's nearer the sea, it's tranquil, and 3 lovely cricket grounds within easy reach.
Now you're talking. Now you are talking. The properties themselves, what are must-haves?
I think must-haves are a good-sized kitchen for me and a separate utility room because I've never had one.
OK, and this kitchen, it's a dining kitchen?
It could be, but we would like a dining room. We tend to entertain friends quite a lot, and I think if we're away from London, that will probably be even more so.
Yeah.
So we like to have somewhere separate to eat.
Are you expecting to put friends up overnight who are coming down for dinner?
Yes, we would be down here.
So let's talk about bedrooms.
It's a minimum of 3, probably 4.
OK. Any favoured styles?
I think you could describe our requirements as characterful, but without being eccentric.
OK. What about throwing some, like converted churches or barns or anything like that? I mean, that's pretty quirky, I know.
Looked at a couple of barns, and they seem to pinch out at the top, and you lose room.
Yes.
So generally, barn conversions, probably not.
You sound like you know what you want to an extent, but you're prepared to be wowed by something different. Maybe.
Definitely.
Is that fair?
Yeah, I think it's a fair summary.
OK. It's going to be an exciting couple of days. We've got a really healthy budget and a beautiful part of the world.
Sure.
So let's finish these cups of tea and coffee and get started.
Right.
With a generous budget of £850,000, Jill and Peter would like a spacious, characterful home with a large kitchen and a separate dining room. They'd like a study for history buff Peter, a utility room and a minimum of 3 bedrooms. Outside, they're hoping for a garden with views and space for a veggie plot. We've found 3 fantastic properties to tempt them with, and before revealing the price, we'll get them to have a guess at it first. One will be our mystery house, whose style and dimensions could spark a complete rethink for our buyers. But first, we're heading for house number 1. We're starting the house search 16 miles north of Chichester in Bexley Hill, right in the heart of the South Downs National Park. A mile and a half down the road is our first property, a detached 4-bedroom house in a desirable rural location. So, here is property number 1.
It's very green.
It's very green all around us, isn't it? And I think, in all fairness, I think this house needs taking hold of.
Needs a bit of work.
Yeah. OK. Let's take a look inside.
Sure.
The original part of this property dates back to the 16th century and is believed to have been a woodsman's cottage. But around 25 years ago, it was extended to create a much larger home, which I'm hoping will suit Jill and Peter's needs. So, once through the hall, you come to the first really good-sized reception area.
Right. It's nice and light. I love the fireplace. I think that's really good.
You said you didn't want necessarily fully open plan, so this is semi-open plan.
Semi-open.
Let me show you the kitchen area.
Right.
What do you think?
My first impression is it's a bit small. It's quite like a galley type of kitchen. So you've got the long, thin space.
You've got a larder or pantry behind you,
Yeah.
and then you've got a utility just the other side where you first walked in. You said you've not had a utility before, so you're used to having a big kitchen with all your gubbins in it.
Yeah.
Now, bearing in mind all your food store is out the way, your wire goods are out the way, maybe you do have
Yes, you
just
don't
pure
need so
cooking
much.
area.
Yes.
Yeah.
Muted opinions here in this kitchen, I would have thought.
Not an overwhelming endorsement.
No, OK. Let's keep looking around and see how that
Sure.
changes. All right,
Absolutely.
follow me. So you've got 2 reception rooms. You've got a small one there. So bear that in mind when we talk about the main one here.
Right. Again, on the small side.
Yeah. I thought you might say that. That wall there, just a stub partition. knock that through, this becomes quite a large reception room.
Larger area, yes, yeah.
This relatively simple alteration would certainly give our buyers the more generous living space they're after. Also downstairs, there's an office where Peter can study for his history degree. Upstairs, there's a family bathroom and 4 bedrooms. One's a single and the others are doubles, so there's plenty of space for their London friends to stay over. We've earmarked the largest bedroom for Peter and Jill. The best views in the house are ones that you'd wake up to from the master bedroom.
Oh, yes.
Lovely outlook.
That is beautiful. Isn't that nice? Very nice. Double aspect too? Which is
Nice and bright, isn't it?
It is. It's lovely. Yes, from that point of view.
And there's an ensuite. Have a good look.
Oh, this has obviously been done quite recently. It's all very modern.
Yes. Nicely done. Yes.
So, let's head outside now. Start thinking about price, though.
Okay.
Okay?
Right.
I'm not sure if this property has really won them over, but maybe the outside will give them a better indication. There's a half-acre plot with gorgeous views and a detached double garage where Peter could stash all of his gardening tools.
It's lovely. I mean, I like the garden. I think it's nice.
Plenty of room to grow your veggies.
Oh, yes.
Plenty of apples to harvest.
Yeah, yes, quite.
I think the garden's pleasant because it's a nice amount of space, but it's not too much work.
I mean, on paper, you've got lots of what you asked for. You've got this land, you've got views, a wonderful countryside location, but all this comes at a price. How much do you think this house is?
I think it's about 799.
Okay. Peter?
No, I wouldn't put it as high as that. I think more like 750.
Right. Well, you may then be surprised to hear that this house is on the market for offers around £850,000.
Yes, I would be.
It's an asking price, of course it is.
Yes.
Who knows what price they'll sell at until that price comes along and they accept it. This 16th century property is right on budget at £850,000. It offers a characterful dining room and 2 other reception rooms that could be knocked through to create the more spacious living area our buyers are looking for. There's a utility room, a study and 4 bedrooms. And outside there's a double garage and wonderful rural views. Now then, seen enough inside and out?
Yes, thank
Yes,
you
I
very
think so.
much.
Excellent. Onwards and upwards this way. The Cowdray Estate in the heart of West Sussex is internationally recognised as the home of British polo. Since the first polo ground was laid down here in 1910, a genuine passion for the sport has been passed down through generations of the Cowdray family. During the Second World War, polo all but died out. But when John, the 3rd Viscount Cowdray, returned from war having lost an arm at Dunkirk, his determined efforts gave the sport a whole new lease of life. His son, the 4th Viscount Cowdray, has since taken up the reins, and I'm here at the estate to meet him. Well, Cowdray, thank you very much for seeing me today.
Not at all. Pleasure. Obviously, there were very few ponies around after the war, particularly ponies that you could play polo on. And my father had managed to save 8 or 10 ponies, but clearly that wasn't enough to start polo again. So he imported 50 ponies from Argentina.
Right.
And he lent them to his friends so that they could actually play some tournaments together.
He had such a passion for the game, didn't he?
He did indeed, yeah. And the fact that he lost his arm during the war was not going to stop him playing polo.
So how did he manage to play after losing his arm?
Well, he got his gunmaker to fashion him a prosthetic limb.
Yeah.
And the prosthetic limb had a hook which went over the rein, and he used to pull the pony up by swinging his shoulders.
Goodness me, this is a very determined man.
He was very determined. He wouldn't allow the loss of a limb to stop him doing all the things he wanted to do in his life.
The first tournament played on the estate was 100 years ago. Today, more than 450 matches are held here each season, including the British Open Championship. Someone who's very familiar with these grounds is England team player Tom Morley, and who better to give me a few polo playing tips.
All you need to start is a basic pendulum, so you just be swinging back and swinging forwards.
Right.
Just once you get that rhythm going,
Yeah.
you swing back, and then all of a sudden it comes up over the top,
Oh, right.
and then that's where you get the power.
What sort of speed are you moving on a...
You can be
Polo.
moving up to sort of 35 miles an hour, probably. So you're going quick enough. It's been described as playing golf during an earthquake. So that's.
I was going to say, it's not only are you moving at speed, you're moving up and down, side to side.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not too concerned about getting on the horse, but I am wondering how I'm going to manoeuvre this mullet to hit the rather small ball while still staying in the saddle.
Swung too late, didn't I? Oh, getting too close. I've got to say, I have a newfound respect for anybody playing this tough sport. But enough of the amateurs, let's see the pros do it.
A polo match is typically divided into periods of play called chukkers, each lasting 7 minutes. Ponies are rotated and rested frequently during the game in order to maintain the stamina this fast-paced sport requires. There are 4 players on each team, and the aim of the game is to score by hitting the ball into the opposition's goal. Polo fields are 300 yards long and 160 yards wide, making them the largest field of any organised sport. Well, that was certainly an impressive spectacle in such a great setting here in the appealing West Sussex countryside. Our second property takes us 20 miles south to the coastal hamlet of Climping. A couple of miles down the coast is our second property, a Grade 2 listed house just a few minutes' walk from the beach. So, pretty good vantage point to look at property number 2 is here. What do we think?
Oh, yes.
Well, it's a pretty flint, very typically Sussex cottage.
First impression, very positive.
Yeah.
Good. I like it.
Let's see if the inside matches up, shall we?
Right.
This brick and flint home dates back to the 1600s, and over the years it's had several guises. At one time it was the village stores and tea rooms. Entering the property takes us through the dining room and on into a spacious sitting room.
Yeah, yes. Ooh, beautifully presented.
Very nice, lovely fireplace.
Isn't it though?
Lovely cottagey feeling to it.
But not too small in its proportions.
No. Well, but it's just got a nice balance. Yeah.
Is this more like it for you then, Peter?
Much more like it, yes.
Good.
Much more like it.
So living room tick, let's go into the kitchen.
Right.
So stepping down into this kitchen, it is wider than the kitchen in the first house, but it's a lot longer, so it feels even more narrow. But you tell me, what do you think?
It feels now, I mean, it is still a galley-style kitchen, but there's a lot, I think using the lighter surfaces and so on makes it feel more spacious.
Yeah.
And as you say, the length, so you've got a lot more cupboards and storage space involved.
Mm. You've got a utility room at the far end, and in between that you've got a downstairs loo.
Mm.
But this brings into play the first reception room that we walked into. This is a dining kitchen. Mm.
Yes.
I think this is probably just, breakfast and, for you two guys.
Supper
but formal dining, maybe in the first reception room.
I would think so, yes. It looks as though they do that occasionally, and maybe one would make more of it.
Mm. Let's go upstairs and have a look at what's available bedroom-wise.
Okay.
Just squeeze through here.
Right.
Thanks. I think we might be getting somewhere with this property. It seems to suit their needs a little better than the first house. Let's hope upstairs gets a similar response. So, into the master suite this time. Big enough?
Much better size.
Yes.
Nice sized room.
Yes, it is.
Now, I call it a suite because obviously you've got the ensuite there, bathroom, shower and loo, but a really good sized dressing room.
Right.
Oh,
with
that's
fitted
nice.
wardrobes.
Good arrangement, isn't it?
It's very spacious.
It's really nice. Yeah.
Now, just to give you an idea of what we've got here, we've got 3 other bedrooms, one used as a study at the moment,
right,
playing into your hands, and another really good sized family bathroom.
Right.
So this house is is generously proportioned.
Yeah, it meets a lot of the targets.
Yeah, good. Okay, well, let's get out into the garden, shall we? I know you're dying to have a look. Follow me. They definitely seem impressed by the master suite, and I know they won't be disappointed by the outside. It's got a beautiful walled garden with a glass roof summer house perfect for entertaining their guests, and there's also a large garage with a workshop. So, a lot more formal, the garden than the first property, until you see the natural meadow next door, which is included.
Super.
And you can't see it just from here, but there is a formal vegetable garden just the other side there as well.
Ooh, goody.
So, how much do you think this house is on the market for, Peter?
I would say this is pushing the budget, possibly 865.
Okay. Jill?
I'm going to say it's on our budget at 850.
Well, not much between you. This house is on the market for offers around £860,000.
I'll split the difference, yeah.
So we're in between.
Just above budget at £860,000, this beautiful period property has a characterful sitting room, a galley-style kitchen, and that utility room Jill was hoping for. Upstairs, there are 4 bedrooms, including a spacious master suite. Its attractive garden comes complete with a summer house, a meadow, and a veggie plot for Peter. And it's all just a stone's throw from the beach. Right, so, good look around?
Yes, thank you.
Yes, superb.
Got any tips for the gardening?
No, I think we can learn something from them.
Well, it did look wonderful, didn't it?
It does,
Really
it does.
lovely.
And hopefully this house has given you something to think about tonight.
Certainly
It
has.
certainly has.
Good, let's go back.
Right.
Well, the reactions got steadily better throughout.
It was good that they've now got something to think about, but it does mean it's all down to the Mystery House now.
Seems like it's often all down to the Mystery House. Well, let's meet my couple who are moving down to sunny West Sussex too. But to spice things up a little bit, we're not just looking for them. Born and bred in London, Carl and Katie have spent the past 20 years in Harrow, Middlesex. Now, with their 3 children having left the family home, they feel it's time to relocate for a quieter life in the West Sussex countryside.
We have been here in London all our lives, and the benefit of the transport particularly and all the local amenities. But I'm really excited about being able to walk out of your front door and walk and have space and air and room and not constantly hear sirens.
But they're not the only ones who are making the trip south.
My mum and dad are hopefully going to move with us. My dad's at an age that it would be nice to move now so that we can enjoy the new location before he gets too much older.
There's also a family reason behind their choice of location.
Well, Kate's brother lives down in Chichester.
And I don't want to be too far away from my dad, who still lives here, so be able to get back to him to visit and look after him if needs be.
And ideally they'd like to be within reasonable distance of the local Catholic church.
We've always been involved in the church, so we hope that would be sort of our way into a new community and a new lot of friends, really.
And she's keen to exercise her green fingers.
I love pottering about in the garden. I think it's something to do with nurturing things when you haven't got your children to nurture.
So, what are the financial details for the move?
Our budget for the move is about £750,000 in that region.
Katie and Carl have asked us to focus our search in the southwest of the county, not too far from Katie's brother in Chichester, on the edge of the South Downs National Park. But before we begin our house hunt, I caught up with them in West Sussex to find out more about what they're looking for in their new home. Morning, guys.
Morning.
Welcome to Sussex.
Thank you.
Lovely bright day. So what are you looking for in terms of the location?
Well, we would like to be near to at least a pub, so not too rural, but getting away from the hustle and bustle of a big city, really.
And inside the house, what are you looking for there?
We'd like 3 or 4 bedrooms for ourselves.
Just to turn around through the seasons.
Yes.
One for each season.
And then downstairs accommodation or an annex for Carl's mum and dad who are coming with us.
Yeah. And in terms of the accommodation, do you want that sort of ready and made, or are you willing to do a bit of sort of DIY?
I think we're looking to potentially refurbish maybe a kitchen or a bathroom, perhaps knock a wall down and reconfigure, but not really do major renovation work.
Great. Anything else about the inside of the house that you're kind of secretly hankering?
Yeah, I would like a kitchen breakfast room, because we've always had one of them, haven't we?
Yeah, and that's worked very well at home.
Yeah, and I'd like a bit of a garden.
So how much money have we got to play with?
750,000 to 800,000 at a stretch.
Well, we've got 3 lovely properties lined up, all sort of different places, offering very different things. So come with me. For a maximum budget of £800,000, Katie and Carl are looking for 3 to 4 bedrooms, an annex or extra downstairs space for Carl's parents, a large kitchen breakfast room, a good-sized garden, all within reasonable distance from Katie's family in Chichester. We found 3 first-rate properties to tempt them with, and at each one I'll be testing their valuation skills as we guess the price. The third is the mystery house, which could have them seeking divine intervention. We begin our house hunt in the quiet hamlet of Lagness, around 10 minutes from Katie's family in Chichester. House number 1 is a barn conversion, surrounded by farmland in a semi-rural location. Come on in.
Oh, it's lovely.
Oh, wow.
It's enormous.
Oh, a swimming pool as well.
Oh, it's so pretty.
See, you don't get that in Harrow, do you? Your own swimming pool.
No.
And then this
How pretty
I
is
do
that?
like the look of that.
is the annex
Yeah,
for
it
your
looks lovely.
mum and pa.
Yeah.
What are your first impressions then?
Oh, great.
Yeah?
Let's go in.
Yeah.
No, I really like the ambience of the garden, and that extra little property looks lovely from the outside.
I'd like to show you this first, because I really don't quite know whether this is going to be big enough or the right size for your mum and pa. So let's have a look.
Lovely.
The annex was originally an old stable block converted into separate accommodation, and I'm hoping it's big enough for Carl's parents. So step inside.
Like it?
Yeah. Nice.
Originally, I think it was laid out so this was the sitting room area, and you've got a bathroom and a kitchen through the arch. And then this would have been the sleeping alcove.
I think that would work better, yeah. So this is a lovely big area. You could have this.
Yeah, a nice big living room then.
And then you've got the lot of storage space. You can see how
Oh, in
much
the
there is
loft.
above. Tell me about your mum and dad. What are they looking for? What do they want to have in their space?
I think something like this would be ideal. My dad's 92 and my mum's 14 years younger. They're both fairly active, but stairs now are becoming more of a challenge. So the idea would be that
They'd be with
quite
us
lot of
a
the
lot,
time
yeah.
They would come in with us, so it doesn't have to be their entire.
And when they're
living
fed
space.
up with us, they come
can
back.
hide.
Yeah, come back here again.
And when they're really fed up, they can hide in the attic. We're not here.
Go away.
Well, in that case, we should show them. I should show you the place where you're going to live.
Yeah, let's.
Off to the main property now. Originally a barn, it was converted in 2000, and it's packed with country charm. So far, we're getting the thumbs up with Carl's parents catered for, but now for our couple themselves. Come on through into the kitchen. Here we can see some of the original beams.
Oh, wow. Oh, they're lovely.
Yeah, it's a nice kitchen, isn't it?
Yeah, good. Nice
Kitchen diner.
Nice island. Quite hankering
yeah.
for an island.
And you've got this sort of minstrel's gallery there, and you'll explain that later on. How do you feel about eating in here? Because this would be the designated dining room, I think.
I think there's plenty of room.
Okay, well, this is the kitchen area. Let's move through into the sitting area. And then this is your...
Oh yeah, really
Wow.
nice. Wood burning stove. I like
Fireplace and a half, isn't
real
it?
fire.
Look, French windows onto the garden. More garden.
More garden. This is also a lovely natural eating space.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, with the vine over the top, it's almost like an outdoor living space as well, isn't it? That's would work
Amazing. It's
well.
as if they planned it. And what's nice is that you've got this space up here, which you could also, if you were feeling very grand, have this as a formal dining room up high. That's what goes into the minstrel's gallery that looks over the kitchen. Does this feel like a house that you could move out of London to?
Yeah, at the moment, everything feels really good. The location, the garden, the accommodation really looks good.
And
First
it
property and it looks fantastic.
Feels very different from a house in the town.
Let's look at the master bedroom. The property also has a utility room just off the kitchen and an upstairs study area. There are 4 double bedrooms in all, accessed via the spacious main entrance hall, with bedrooms 2, 3 and 4 served by the family bathroom. First, the master. So there are 3 bedrooms on this corridor, but this 4th one is... Well, this would be your master.
Ah, that's fantastic. No,
And look, you've got doors to the pool there.
You have got doors to the pool there, and also you've got an ensuite. You can explore that a bit later on.
Ensuite, hey?
Oh, yes.
Oh, and again, because you've got so double aspect. You've got gardens each
Really
side.
bright.
Like you're
And the beams again going through. And
be permanent, like
really
be
good.
permanent being on holiday, wouldn't it?
That's the idea, you see. That's what it's like moving to the countryside.
Yeah.
Holiday all the time. And you can have your morning breakfast there on the terrace. Well, let's step out this way and past the pool. Let's talk about the garden. The mainly lawned garden lies either side of the property, including a raised deck area covered by vines and a garage with a workshop. Oh, look, stepping out to the pool.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, that'd be lovely on
Sun
a
trap.
sunny morning.
It is a sun trap as well, yeah. So you've got a single level dwelling. Was that what you were thinking about?
It really works well. I think it's very practical. The accessibility, to be honest,
And
even
for
from the
mum and
outside.
dad,
Yeah.
you know, for coming over from the annex to visit us, that wouldn't be any problem for them whatsoever.
Okay, so the final part of the puzzle is the price.
Yes.
How much do you think this little parcel of West Sussex costs?
I'm really, really hoping you wouldn't be mean to us.
I've been known to be mean in the past.
So I'm going to go 795.
And I'm going to be very optimistic and probably hoping more than anything else, 780.
780.
Yeah.
Well, in this instance, you should listen to your wife because she's exactly right. It's on the market for 795.
Right, yeah, listen to me.
Doesn't surprise me.
House number one comes in just under their top budget at £795,000, and it gives them 4 bedrooms, a separate annex ideal for Carl's parents, a large kitchen diner, ample gardens including a swimming pool, all close to Katie's brother in Chichester and the splendid West Sussex coast. Wow, I had to pull you out of that house. That was
Fantastic.
got a thumbs up, didn't it?
Yeah, really did.
Really good.
Yeah.
But it is only house number one. Many English counties can be identified not only by their landscape, but by their buildings and the materials used to construct them. With an abundance of flint found in West Sussex, it's become a defining feature of the county's architecture. One such building made from this durable quartz is West Dean House, in the village of West Dean. Originally built in 1804 for the politician James Peachey, this Georgian Gothic manor house eventually became the West Dean College in 1971, a centre teaching traditional craft skills. I've come to meet college tutor and flint mason Jerry Williams to find out more about this hardy crystalline. Morning, Jerry. Nice to meet you.
Welcome to West Dean.
Oh, what an amazing building. Now, you are a flint fanatic, can I call you that?
Fanatic, yeah, absolutely, yeah. I'll go along with that.
I can see that this is a very unusually white and very orderly flint. What information does that give me?
Yeah, basically, when this was built, they left the cortex, which is the outside of the flint, still on.
Cortex?
Cortex, which is like a rind of a cheese.
And what about West Sussex? What's typical about this building, for example? Is there anything that you would spot as being typically West Sussex?
Well, only the fact that there's gallatin here, because there's a lot of areas where there isn't gallatin, even in East Sussex, no gallatin.
What's gallatin?
Gallatin is the small slivers of flint that are knocked off of a big flint, so that you get all these little bits that you can stick in round the joints. It is purely to show a sign of wealth, because it costs a lot of money to sit there gallatin.
So this is a wealthy man's house?
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah.
Found mainly in areas of chalk and limestone, nobody really knows how flint is formed. It is extremely tough, almost as hard as diamonds, and it takes years to learn how to read the flint so you can nap it into the exact shape you want. Time for my lesson, I think.
Here we have the flint bench.
Ah,
There are
look,
exhibits on.
all the raw material. How do you work it? Because it's extremely hard, isn't it? It's tough material.
It's tough material, but it's not specifically hard. You have to look at it and assume where you're going to work it, and then tap it, and then you're listening and looking at the same time.
Listening?
You listen to hear how it rings, and then off you go. You'll find out in a minute when you...
Can we have a go?
Yes. I think you better put your gloves on.
They're quite sharp, aren't they?
They're very sharp.
They used to make knives.
These will knock a bit off. Here it's ringing quite well, so...
Is there any tips? I mean, am I listening for anything particular?
What we want you to do, just try and think you're going to try and knock that lump off. What you want to be looking at is that nodule there.
It's like...
No, just give it a sharp crack. That's it.
Well, yeah,
Yeah, it's gone.
Oh, my God.
That's it.
I'm slightly bigger than I expected.
It's got a mind of its own. You have to work it.
So you can see here that this is the cortex.
That's it.
And
Yeah.
this is the black flint.
Yeah.
Wow, it's really amazing. I'm getting the hang of it. This is amazing. This has been so instructive. I have learned napping, galettes. It's been a real joy. Thank
Good.
you so much.
Good to meet you.
I have a long way to go before I build my own flint house, I think, but thankfully Jerry is here to pass on these traditional skills to conserve wonderful flint structures for years to come. For our second house, we're travelling northeast into the South Downs National Park to the hamlet of Watersfield, about 30 minutes from Chichester. House number 2, an ironstone-built property, can be found at the end of a quiet lane. Swing the corner.
Nice.
Wow.
House
That's
number 2.
lovely.
It's like a little country
Oh,
cottage.
that's gorgeous.
So this one has floors.
Floors, yes, indeed. Yeah. And a big garage, look.
And if you look to the left,
Oh,
through the hedge,
another little house for Mum and Dad.
a separate annex for your mum.
Yeah.
But is this
so
more of what you were
quiet.
thinking?
I think this is what I envisaged. So, yeah, just a sort of normal detached house.
Well, in good country style, we're not going to go in through the front door, we're going to go around the side. Built in the 1950s, the property has undergone radical modernisation, mixing contemporary interior design with a traditional exterior. Come on in, through the boot room,
That's a lovely big boot room.
straight into this
Oh, gosh.
fantastic
nice.
space.
Wow.
Real big island.
Goodness me.
You weren't expecting that, were you?
No. You really have everybody in the kitchen while you're cooking here.
I mean, it's slightly unusual because actually you've got the old kitchen, sort of
yeah.
prep room there, so that's got all your white goods, washing machine, fridge, and then this is the more kitchen in the sense of this is the space where you probably eat and have breakfast. And so if you come through in here, you can see the layout of this spectacular kind of add-on that they
Wow,
put.
it's a sun trap.
Yeah.
It is sunshine, and it's quite hot now, but the great thing about it is that you can open up every single one of these
And be outside.
and be outside.
Bifold
Look at that.
doors, I don't even know what you call them.
Yes, concertina doors.
That
Yeah.
really lets the outside in, yeah.
That's quite something.
So this really, I think, would be your main walkway because you can see there's a sitting room there that's
Yeah.
open up to that
Yeah.
one, and then at the end there's a study as well, so you can access all the rooms from the back and the front, as it were. Is it nice though? Do you like it?
I do like it, yeah. Just sort of,
It's very different.
yes, getting my head around what you've got here and how you could use it.
It is different from the last property. Let's look upstairs and you can see the upstairs layout.
Yes.
The downstairs definitely has the wow factor in terms of space, but they seem a little overawed by just how much there is. Upstairs there are 3 double bedrooms in all. Bedrooms 2 and 3 are served by the family bathroom with a square plunge bath. And before that, the master.
Oh, look at the stained glass.
Look at the stained glass, yes.
This is a nice-sized room.
Upstairs it's a bit more like a typical 1950s house.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of storage in this property.
Good.
So all your storage here. And then this one has a very nice modern ensuite wet
as
room
well. Right.
Oh,
and a bathtub.
that's something, yeah.
How are you feeling about this house? I feel that you're... Last time
I
you were...
think I'm a little ambivalent toward this house because I'm confused by the traditional outside and front part of the house, and then the sort of back view just shocked me. But it's quite a quirky house.
And I guess the clincher would be what the annex is like for Mum and Dad, really.
Well, let's go and look.
Okay.
Excuse me, I'll lead the way. With Carl and Katie somewhat dazed and confused, I think the annex is going to have to be a knockout to put this house into any sort of contention. Come on in. What we have here is a much more substantial annex in the sense it's got 3 separate rooms. We've got a bedroom up this way. And separate mains, so separate electricity, so it's all completely separate.
And it's really, all finished beautifully, isn't it?
How does this compare to the last one?
Different, isn't it? Because this is a larger sort of a space, isn't it?
And it's much brighter and more open, isn't it? I mean, obviously it's got less stuff in it, but...
totally different feel.
See, there is more room here. It's a bigger area, isn't it?
It doesn't have a kitchen.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the difference. And you would have to get planning to put a kitchen on. Yeah.
We're not sure how much of a problem that would be because I'm sure they'd always be eating with us.
Right. But first you need to know how much it costs. So let's go out into the garden and talk about money. The gardens are mainly laid to lawn, with a paved terrace area leading on from the sitting room, looking out over splendid rural views. And the missing piece of the puzzle is the price.
Yes, the price.
What do you think this is on the market for?
You go first this time.
Well, one less bedroom, still really nice location. So I'm thinking maybe 775.
Oh, and I was sort of going there as well at 780.
780?
Yeah.
Well, it might be the deciding factor. This is actually on the market for £835,000.
Okay.
I still think the issue for me is the mix of the modern and the traditional.
Priced at £835,000, our second house has come in over budget. It offers 3 bedrooms, a huge kitchen breakfast room, a living room with folding doors and windows on all 3 sides, a 2-bedroom annex, a good-sized garden, all around half an hour from family in Chichester. Well, that is all the house has done for today.
Right.
So time to digest and have a little rest.
Indeed.
Let's go.
So you hit the ground running with the very first house.
Yes, indeed. It was a beautiful house. And yet the second one, they just could not get their head around that mix of very contemporary and traditional. Still, there's the mystery house.
So if we go back to my couple, Peter and Jill from Weybridge in Surrey, they had a good budget of £800,000, and they're really after, well, just a slower pace of life. Now, there is one property that Peter said he did not want to look at, and that was a barn conversion. So any ideas what the mystery house might be?
Barn conversion?
Oh, he's good. Our final property takes us 3.5 miles west to the hamlet of Flansham. I'm hoping our mystery house just down the road might have our couple waxing lyrical, even though it's not exactly the style they asked for. Rather grand entrance.
Ooh, yes.
Opening up into the courtyard of the mystery house. Come on, be honest, what are you thinking?
First impression's good.
I don't want to poke the hornet's nest, but this is a barn conversion.
Yes, I know.
I know, but it looks...
But we are
looks
open-minded.
good so far.
This is great news. Well, you said you wanted space.
Yes.
I think this has it.
Okay.
All right?
Excellent.
But you like the style?
Yes.
You like the position?
Yes.
Let's look inside. Okay. The barn was first converted in the 1980s, and it incorporates the adjoining brick building that was originally a series of cowsheds. Let's start with a very impressive room.
Goodness.
Wow.
Super.
Space, you said. Space we got.
You have indeed, haven't you?
Yeah.
Isn't that nice?
It's lovely.
That is super. That really is. Nice.
Now, at the far end of the barn, you've got a downstairs loo and another reception room, which is, I think it's as big as we've seen already anyway. And that's, in comparison, the
An
small
extra
one.
room, yeah.
You've got options to do with this house what you want,
Yep.
and then some.
Flexibility.
So, good reactions.
Very
good.
positive.
Yeah, very positive.
Well, I think I like the kitchen. I hope you do. Follow me.
Goodness, another lovely large room.
Didn't expect that. Didn't expect that.
We thought we'd used up all the space for the living room.
Yes. I think
This house is huge.
it's lovely.
Through that door there, you've got a lovely utility room. You've got a pantry to the right-hand side and a downstairs loo.
Right.
And an entrance out into the back garden.
I really like that.
Well, look, this is twice as big as both the previous houses' kitchens put together.
It is, absolutely.
Are you going to fill it?
Oh, easily.
The back end of this wing, if you like, and I think it's fair to call them wings.
Yeah.
There's a staircase going up to one of the bedrooms.
Oh.
We're going to go up the main staircase, and then we'll find out whether your fears of this being pinched at the top are just or not. Follow me.
Right.
This place really does give them the space they've been looking for, and more. The property is effectively divided into two sections. The large original barn part of the house contains the toilet and the two reception rooms we've just seen. And the more narrow brick wing houses the beautiful kitchen and adjoining utility room. Each section has its own staircase leading to the first floor, where the same size space is divided into 5 bedrooms with 3 en-suites and a family bathroom. So, master bedroom.
Oh, gosh. It doesn't pinch out, does it?
No.
Nice height.
You'll see throughout this property that, unlike a lot of barn conversions, you're not cramped up in the eaves. You have genuine roof height.
Lovely effect for the beams.
Have a quick look into the ensuite, because I rather like it. Let's see what you think.
Oh, that's
It's
neat.
lovely,
We've
isn't it?
done that.
Beautiful.
Clever.
Not a bad size, is
Big
it?
shower.
Good. Yeah, it's clever.
They've been really clever with the space.
They have.
Because although it's steeply sloped, it still looks spacious.
Yeah.
There is another bathroom. In fact, I'll explain what we've got here.
Okay.
This well thought out conversion gives them more than 4,500 square feet. So all of the rooms up here are a really decent size, and they have so much character with the wonderful exposed timber beams. So, 2 bathrooms back to back.
Okay.
Laid out Jack and Jill really, so you can go in and out of them. But we've now seen 4 bedrooms. This is the 5th.
Yes.
And there's 4 bathrooms. Plus, there's another floor with another bedroom on its own.
Goodness.
Fantastic.
So I'm wondering now, with 5 bedrooms on the first floor, you could probably dispense with 1 bedroom for a really nice first floor office, couldn't you?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Lots to come back and have a look around, but let's now go outside and on the way there start thinking about price, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
It's pretty clear that against the odds, our buyers are rather taken with this barn conversion and the huge amount of space it offers them. And outside there's yet more space, with a detached double garage and an expansive garden. So thankfully, this house delivers on outside space as well as inside, doesn't it?
It does. It does.
In every respect. Lovely views.
Super views.
She's a handsome beast, isn't she, this house? This
Yeah.
barn conversion.
It's been nice, doesn't it?
I'll just say it again, barn conversion.
All right, you surprised us.
Good. Good. How much do you think this mystery house is on the market for?
I think it's probably a bit over our budget, and I'll go for 895,000.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same mind, somewhere around the 900 mark.
Yeah. Well, bad news on this one, because you're way out. This on the market for offers around £795,000.
My goodness.
Really? Goodness.
Well, you call that bad news?
Well, no, I don't actually. In spite of all that space, this stylish barn conversion is under budget at £795,000. It has 2 large reception rooms, one of which would make a perfect study for Peter. There's a spacious kitchen and separate utility room. And with 6 bedrooms, 3 en-suites and a family bathroom, they'll have no trouble putting up their friends. Outside, there's a double garage and a garden with attractive rural views. Now then, you look like you rather enjoyed looking around that house.
We did.
Brilliant.
Very much.
And lots of space, but also, hopefully, that gives you lots to consider.
It does.
It does.
Let's find you somewhere to do just that.
Thank you.
So, hopefully you've had a bit of a chance to think about things.
We have.
Which one's your favourite?
Mystery house, definitely.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Why is it your favourite?
I think it's one word, space.
Not too big?
I don't think you can have too much space, so long as you can heat it properly and it's livable in.
I don't think you two can have too much space.
I think you're getting there.
Yeah, quite. I've certainly learnt over these past couple of days more about what you are after. Do you think you've learnt more?
We found that you do have to go and have a look. You can't just look at what's on the internet and look at the floor plan and think, oh yes, that's right for us.
So the next step is going back to have a look. How interested in the property are you?
Extremely. And I think if the locality proves okay, then we'd certainly be looking to make an offer on it.
Fantastic. I wish you the best of luck, and whatever happens, please let us know what you decide to do.
We will.
Keep you in touch.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Well, there you go. Mystery House tactic worked out. He loved the barn conversion.
Well, it was a beautiful house, wasn't it? And I think it negated any fears Peter had of it being small upstairs. Let's face it, the house was massive, and he loved the idea of entertaining there as well.
So spinning back to Katie and Carl, they've got £750,000, and to be honest, I think they loved house number 1 with the pool. But? Well, they really do have to think carefully about what to do with Carl's parents.
So practicality then.
So for the Mystery House, we are going for divine inspiration. Can you guess what it is?
I've got faith that they'll like it, put it that way.
For today's Mystery House, we're heading further east to the village of Warninglid, putting them about an hour away from Chichester. In the heart of the village is our Mystery House, a converted property that was once the hub of the community. Here we go. It's the Mystery House.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
What do you think this used to be?
a church.
A church.
That's amazing. I said I like going to church, didn't I?
You did? You don't even need to get out of bed. You're in
Oh
church.
my
Is that all one
gosh.
property? It is all one property, yes.
Good heavens.
What are your thoughts, your feelings?
Amazing. Yeah.
Amazing.
Let's look inside.
Let's.
Built in 1932, the church has undergone a substantial refurbishment. And bearing in mind their reaction to the mix of styles in our second property, I'm hoping this sympathetic modernisation will elicit a more favourable response.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's enormous. It's echoey. Listen to it.
It
It's
is
so
echoey.
huge.
What a living space.
This is beyond my wildest imagining.
So let's walk down to the, well, I suppose down the aisle to the kitchen. This would have been where the altar was, the east end of the church. And you've got the more elaborate stained glass above the...
Beautiful colours. Good heavens, indeed.
Yeah. Quite a signature kitchen as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
The dark units and the contrast with the white surface. And really modern looking. Yeah.
Is that pleasing? Or?
Yeah.
I think that looks really nice.
Yeah.
So this is clearly the sort of like Pazang space.
Yes.
It's full of the kind of sound of the angels. Through the archway is the more kind of modest living space.
I wonder what your mum and dad would think about living in a church.
We're certainly getting more than our fair share of wows with this property. But as we head to the new extension, it's time to address the question of space for Carl's parents. The second half of the house is a bit more modest, although anything would be modest after that first half.
Have they got the same windows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very
Nicely
tastefully
matched
done.
in,
Yeah. So the challenge of this property, and I will be
Yes.
frank, is that it doesn't have a ready-made annex.
Right.
However, it does have on this floor a massive, beautiful family bathroom with a massive shower, which is actually suitable for wheelchairs. and
Right,
things.
brilliant.
And this room, and then also on this floor, another double and a single room.
Oh, okay.
So that
Yeah.
is basically a
Yeah.
living accommodation and a bedroom.
Let's look upstairs at your bedroom. There is enough space for the parents, but it remains to be seen whether the property offers enough separate space for Carl and Katie themselves. So a very nice modern bathroom.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Fantastic finish.
Yeah, the quality is amazing.
And then this would probably be your room.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, because it's got, ta-da, huge storage.
Oh, my goodness.
Certainly fit all your dresses in there, Kate.
Yeah, just maybe.
So you have space over there for more storage or dressing room.
Yeah, dressing table.
And yeah, nice high room.
Yeah, and even though it's
Really
sloping
good.
ceiling, you would bang your head, would you?
Right. So the challenge of this property is, of course, that you only have 4 bedrooms in total to play with, and one of
Yeah.
those is quite small.
Yeah, okay. It's just so
Such an
unlike
impressive space.
anywhere we've ever seen.
But it's really got the wow factor,
yeah.
both from outside and from inside. Yeah.
That is why it's the Mystery House.
Absolutely.
There is a little bit of space outside, so let's look at the back garden. Bearing in mind Katie wanted somewhere to potter, the garden is relatively modest. At the front is a paved terrace edged by box hedging, with a small lawn to the side, and the rear is mainly gravelled with a patio seating area. And there's also a garage for Carl to tinker in. Is it working for you?
It's beyond amazing, isn't it? But we're quite messy. We've got quite a lot of things, and you know that house needs to be open and clean, doesn't it? So I'm still trying to get my head around whether we could live there.
And how much do you think it is on the market for?
I'd have said 850,000.
And I've just said near enough that as well, maybe 845, something like that.
Oh, well, you must really like it, because actually it's on the market for 750,000.
Oh, is it? I think they need to put their prices up.
It seems our mystery house has foxed them. On the market for £750,000, it offers them bags of character with 4 bedrooms, a massive kitchen and living space, a huge downstairs bathroom ideal for Carl's parents, a garage with workshop potential, all set in a beautiful village location. You all done?
No, thank you.
I'm afraid that's the last house I have to show you.
Oh.
No more.
Well, they've all been amazing, the 3 you have shown us.
Ended on a real high.
Good. Well, let's go and find somewhere to gather our thoughts.
Thank you.
I would bet this cream tea here that the 2 houses you like the most are the first and the last.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Yes! Cream tea is mine. Excellent. Have you had any thoughts about the first and the last house since we've got back?
Yeah, I think we really could see ourselves living in the first house as opposed to the third house, which was beyond fabulous, but probably not really practical for us all to live in.
Because it's interesting, sometimes I think you're almost looking for the house for your parents rather than yourselves. Have you allowed yourself a bit of, this house would be nice for me?
I think it is very much for both.
Yeah.
So that's why the separate annex and all the accommodation in the first house really did fit the bill.
So the next step is what?
Well, certainly initially to go back and have a look at the surrounding area from the first property.
Because the first property is very close to your brother.
Yes, which would be so good to be able to see them on a more regular basis and have my niece and nephew come over and play in the pool.
So with that pool, they'll be seeing a lot of them, actually.
Yeah.
Well, I hope it all goes well. There's a few obstacles that you need to get through, but your excitement will carry you through, no doubt.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to
Looking forward
moving.
to it, yeah.
So, a firm favourite, back to property number 1.
Yes, they love property number 1. They weren't so keen on the mystery house. It literally put the fear of God
You could see it.
How about you? How about Pete and Jill's barn conversion?
You know what? I take my hat off to them. They said right at the outset, we're open-minded. And you can't get any more open-minded than opting for the type of building. They specifically said they didn't want to see a barn conversion.
And also hats off to Katie and Carl because, well, they're doing the thing that we often have on the shows. They're moving with their parents. They're looking for a granny annex, and that's not always so easy.
Sometimes you're looking for 2 houses in one, which always pushes the budget, doesn't it? And it's a big journey for both of our couples, really, who will hopefully both soon be making their full-time escapes to the beautiful West Sussex countryside.
And can I say, that's a very good choice.
Indeed. See you next time.
Bye. After filming, Carl and Katie decided country living wasn't for them, and have since bought a house in the city of Chichester.
And Peter and Jill finally found a property in the village of Cocking and hope to move in the next 2 months. If you'd like to escape to the country in Scotland, Wales, England, Northern Ireland or even further afield to the continent and need our help, please visit bbc.co.uk/be on a show.
अच्छा भैया हमार बहुत गाना आप लोग सुनला और प्यार दुलार देला ए जैसे हम गायक शैलेंद्र कनौजिया आप लोगन के गोड़ छू के गोड़ लगातानी और पूरा विश्वास बा कि यहो गीत के उहे प्यार दुलार दी हैं जौना प्यार दुलार पहिलका एल्बम के दिले रहने जा।